Data collected in a scientific context is highly meaningful and can significantly contribute to society's knowledge base, but only under one condition. The data must be available to others. Publication involves making our resources publicly accessible. We can publish our data digitally using an online repository or non-digitally by writing an article about our findings for a journal. The method of publication depends on the target audience. Preparing educational materials for students differs from creating a promotional leaflet for tourists or writing a scientific publication for the academic community. We will now focus mainly on digital methods of publication, which allow us to verify our work through virtual reference platforms that provide open access to published resources. We also need to determine whether we want to share the 3D file itself or only its derivatives, such as animations, renderings, panoramic images, or documentation in written or graphical form. Depending on the chosen approach, we can use a direct method of publishing the 3D model or an indirect method, where we publish other media created on the base of the 3D model. This decision often involves legal restrictions and copyrights, which we will discuss later. It is a good practice to combine both methods, as each offers different benefits. Indirect publication is often easier for the public to understand and can reach a wider audience. However, it only focuses on the final results of our reconstruction. On the other hand, direct publication of the 3D models allows a thorough examination of the reconstruction, but targets a narrower audience, primarily 3D modeling practitioners. During online publication, the quality of our data is of the highest importance. The guidelines for this process are outlined in the FAIR principles, a set of standards that ensure our data is findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. The platform where we publish the data should provide a certain standard for findability and accessibility of published data. Therefore, it is essential to verify if a repository of our choice meets the FAIR principles in this matter. The other elements depend on our habits of working with data. Interoperability relies on the file format we use for sharing the data. Reusability depends on how we prepare the file for publication. This includes removing unnecessary information and geometry, or ensuring the file is properly structured and organized. We must ensure our file is as clear and understandable as possible. A great benefit is also using a 3D viewer for web browsers. Some online repositories offer this service. The built-in 3D viewer allows anyone to freely explore the 3D space of our model within a web browser without the need to download the file and use 3D programs. However, it is important to note that the viewer's functionality may be limited compared to the analysis methods available in 3D modeling programs. Additionally, proper display of 3D model in a web-based viewer requires preparing the file according to some requirements. The file must be lightweight with a reduced number of vertices. We also need to remember strict guidelines regarding the naming of the files and textures. Each form of publication can be used in slightly different ways. Therefore, without a clearly defined audience, it is beneficial to enrich our publication with various data exchange formats, metadata, and paradata. We should also provide open access to our data and allow others to further develop our reconstruction with reference to our work.